Hey folks, welcome back. In this video, we will be talking about Python CSV module, and CSV is nothing but comma separated values. CSV mostly used in imports and exports data from database, and we also use it in storing data into the database columns and other use cases as well. So let's look at the a sample CSV file. So let me open the cities.csv. So here we can see that we have two columns. So it's nothing but just like Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. So here we have two columns and the data. So if I open it in text format, so here we can clearly see that the data is comma separated. So let's start. Let's look at the line number one, and there we have city comma state, and then at line number two we have Youngstown comma OH. So these two values are separated by a comma. So similarly, all other values as well. So the CSV file is just like Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. So let's go back to our Python code. That is nothing but our Python CSV module. So let's look at how we can read the data. Read the data as list of rows. So let me copy this code to Playground and let's look at it. So let me copy this to playground.py and paste it and save it. So let's look at the code now. Import CSV. So this is the import statement to get the CSV model into our code. So once we have it, so now we need to have a file path to read the data from the file. So here we have the with statement and open statement. So we use these two keywords to load the file. After that, we just need to pass that file to csv.reader. So when we pass that file to this csv.reader, it just reads the file and returns the each row as a list. And after that, we just need to loop through each row and we can do whatever the operations that we want. So here we have the for loop and we are iterating through each row, and in the next line we have a print statement. So we are just printing the data whatever we got in row. So let me save it and go to terminal and run Python playground.py. So here we can see that we got each row as a list. So that's how we use the CSV reader. So here what we are doing, so we are just reading the data as a list of rows, and we can perform whatever the operations that we want with the data. So this is the simple way to read the data from a CSV file as a list of rows. So in some cases we may just want to have a dictionary. So in that type of cases we do not use this csv dot reader method. So instead of we use csv dot dict reader class to read the data from the csv file. So let me go here and let's look at that example as well. So just to save time, I already have the code snippets here. So let me copy this code to Playground. Let me replace it. So just like previous example, we now also we have the same code with some just the difference is we are just using the dict reader. So in the first line we have imported the CSV model, and we have file path here. So that is cities.csv, and then we are opening the file using with statement and open. After that we have the file, and we are just passing that file to reader, that is dict reader, csv.dict reader, and it is expecting a file, and it just returns the iterator or a list of rows just like the csv.reader. But the only difference is csv.reader returns the data as list of a list of rows, but it just returns the list of dictionaries. So let's see. Let me clear this out and run Python playground.py. So here we can see that previously we got a list here, but now we got a dictionary here. So that's the only difference between these two. So here we can see that we can access the dictionary of city, then we get this value, and then state. So something like that. So in, let's say if we want to get it as a dictionary, and then we use csv.digtreader. So otherwise, let's say we want to get it as a list, and then we just use csv.reader. So that's the only difference between these two, but it just reads the data from the CSV file. So let's look at the how how to write the data to CSV file. So previously we seen how to read the data. Now we'll be talking about how to write the data to a file. So for that we have two methods, that is csv.writer. So csv.writer, when we pass the file, it just returns the writer object. So once we have that, we have two methods, that is write row, that writes the one row to the CSV file, and then the other row we have the other method that we have is write rows. So it expects multiple rows as a iterable thing or a list, and then we can simply write multiple rows into that. So let's look at the simple example for that. So let me copy this code from here to here. Just remove all this and paste it and save it. Let's look at the code now. So in the first line we have imported the CSV model, and then in the third line we have a file path, that is students.csv. So let's look at the file. So here we didn't have it. So if we didn't have it, we just need to create it and write the data into it. So now we are opening the file with a write mode, and then we have the header, that is first name and last name, and we have the data list of data, that is list of rows. We can call each list as a row for now. And then at line number 12 we have the writer. So we define the writer, that we are using the csv.writer method to get the writer, and then we are just passing the file here. So once we have this writer, and then we have these two methods. So let me comment out this, and let's look at this. So here what it is doing, it is just taking the write row, and it is just taking the header, that is a one record. And in at line number 14 we have write rows. It has multiple rows in it. So write row writes only one row to the CSV file, and then write rows that writes multiple rows to the CSV file. So that's all about the code explanation. Let's go to terminal and run it. Python playground.py. So it executed without any errors. So let's go here and open students.csv file. So here we can see that here we have two columns, A and B, and then we have first name, last name, and all other data, whatever the data that we pass. So if we look at it in text format, so here we can see that the first name and first name and last name are separated by a comma, and then all other names as well. So that's how we write to a file using CSV model. So let's look at the other example. So here how we use the data as like, so here we define the list, and inside that list we have the another list of data, and that is for each row. So let's say if you want to write the data as a dict, then we just need to use dict writer for it. So that is another example. So let's look at that. So write dict data to CSV. So let's say we have a dict data and we want to write it to a CSV file, and then we use this code. So CSV module provides csv.dict writer, a function or a method. So that takes parameters as a file and a header. So header is nothing but the dictionary keys. And we have the methods for the writer, that is writer.write header and writer.write row. That takes the row dictionary, and writer.write rows, that takes a list of dictionaries, list of dictionaries inside it. So let's look at this simple example. So let me copy this code here to playground, and let's remove the existing code and paste it here and save it. So let's look at the code. So at line number 1 we imported the CSV model, and at line number 3 we just have the students.csv. And then at line number 4, we are just reading the file in a write format, I mean in a write mode. And then we define the header, that is first name and last name. And at line number 6, we define the a single row, that is first name as Anji and last name as B. So similarly, we have rows, that is a list. Inside that we have the elements as dictionaries. So Shiva, first name as Shiva and last name as D, and first name as John and last name as M, etc. So let me remove this students.csv because we created it in the last execution. So I just deleted it, and now here we can see that we didn't have any students.csv file there. So at line number 12, so we just created the writer object from csv.dictWriter, and we passed file and header, so these two values, and we created the writer. So and we on writer we have these two methods, that is write header, I mean the three methods: write header, write row, and write rows. So write header, it simply writes the header data to a csv file, and then the write row, that just writes one record to the csv file, and write rows, that just writes the multiple records to the csv file. So let me save it and open the terminal and clear clear the existing executions and run it. Python playground.py. So it just ran without any errors. So let's go here and look at the students.csv. So here we can see that we got Anji, first name, last name, and all other data. So this is how we just use the CSV module and write and read data from the CSV file using Python CSV module. Yeah, that's all about the CSV module in Python. If you find the video is useful, then like the video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.